hey, good Monday evening to everyone. It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. And welcome to the show being done by me, Bill Sylvie, aka The Dungeon Delver, coming to you live on a balmy Monday evening from the swamps of Central Florida. Hello, Christopher Sackle, Pauper Knight, the Mad RR Conductor, Wave of Mutilation, James Lowry, the Wheeling Dragon, good to see you, darling, Damien X247, Vincent, Nota Bartolo, Harmony Ginger, Nordic Maelstrom, good to see you, Daniel Rowan, I saw you sneak in there, Mead, Mornog, Altered Games, I hope they're not altered too much, Brutal Hermit. Anyway, how are you guys? I'm glad you're all here. Catch that little teaser as I was stepping to. Hey, Praxis, good to see you. Guys, it's awesome. So I have a little bit of time before I'm off to play AD&D, and I want to spend that time with you guys. I want to talk about some cool stuff and some stuff that's on my mind and the week ahead. But listen, hey, whoa. Calm down out there. Shh. If you haven't already, look, if YouTube just said, hey, here's a cool live video you could be watching, or Twitter did the same thing. If you haven't already, would you please click that subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications too, because that really helps. And if you're watching this in the aftermath of it all, and you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Go give it a thumbs up if you like it right now even. But if you're watching it later, leave a comment down below and tell me what you liked about it. And let me tell you guys something. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down and leave a comment down below and tell me what you didn't like about it. I'll do more or less of the things that you like or didn't like to the best of my ability. If your dislike is you exist, well, I'm not going to do less of that. But if you can get a little bit more specific, I'm sure we can reach some kind of an agreement, right? Right, of course. So anyway, it's Monday. Now, we do mail calls on Monday, and up until fairly recently, although we kind of started back last week, we have been doing our Monday Miniature Madness, and one that I am sure we have all been waiting for, one that we have been on tenterhooks about, is, of course, the WizKids 50th anniversary Icons of the Realms. I hate that name. Icons of the Realms Red Dragon. I bought this on my birthday in January of this year. Now, I knew it would be spring at the earliest before it got out. Guys, we are most of the way to Halloween. I ordered it from IGN. IGN still is giving me no indication that whether or not they're going to deliver it to me. However, I did find one on Amazon, fully expecting to get something like, okay, it'll be there in 6 to 8 weeks, buddy, from the vendor. Imagine my shock. Imagine my shock when it shipped and it arrived last week. That's right, boys and girls, right here, I have the Icons of the Realms Red Dragon. Squid Vicious, hello. Yes, happy belated birthday. So let's take a look at it together. I got the tripod cam going over here. I'm gonna have to scoot over there a little bit, and we're gonna take a look at it. Now, it's packaged pretty nicely, and it is not a blind draw box. That would just be dumb. You know what you're getting. So let's take a look over here. I'm gonna go to the table cam. I'm going to scoot over here so I don't have to lean over too much. And you guys are going to see, first of all, I want you to see what it's based on. So let's go there. And that's really a terrible angle. Hopefully you guys can see that a little bit better. No, you can't because of the wonderful shine There, that's a little bit better. But there it is. That is the Holmes Basic or Introductory set for Dungeons and Dragons. And it is Dave Sutherland's iconic art that they drew the sculpture from. Now, here is the packaging. You guys can see it with all the wonderful hot spots, because unlike my big camera up there, there is no polarizing filter on this one. And you can see there's the 50th anniversary logo, and we have a shot of it there. Don't want to give away too much. Another image there that's just duplicate. And on the back, we have a reproduction of Sutherland's artwork and a QR code and a little bit of information. So with that done, let's go ahead and open it and take a look at it. Nordic wants to know, is that Dragon CD game case thing? I will come back and I will answer that question. So it slides out pretty easily. And yeah, I'm going to keep the container, even though this is a miniature to be played with. You guys know full well I am not a D&D collector. All right, so here we have it. Here we have it, guys, and it pops right out. And yes, I have opened this before. Because, again, I'm not a collector, and I waited, 8 months for it. I think I was entitled. I'm an entitled little shit. Yeah, Joe, I finally got it. So here we go. Ladies and joims, you can see, I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but there it is. There it is. Now, production quality wise, it's pretty awesome. There's a prominent seam around its neck that you can see. So even though it's pretty resilient ABS, if you drop it, that's probably going to come off. The head is probably going to pop off, but you can also probably glue it back on. It's got a nice treasure pile. You can see there, it's got a nice treasure pile. Good coloration, very true to the original in the color selection. I have no general complaints about it. So there you guys go. That's it. That is the adult Red Dragon from the basic set. Scale-wise, I am glad you asked me that, Nordic. Let's talk about the scale. I measured it. I used a thread. Actually, it was a USB cord, but hey, you hold it up to a ruler. It's all the same. And I measured it at true 28 millimeters. It is 38 feet long. That comes in much shorter than the adult Red Dragon. Well, the Red Dragon in general doesn't state it by age classes. The Red Dragon in general is about 12 feet longer than the miniature presented. So it is a little, even if you go down to true 25 millimeter, it's only when you get to 20 millimeter that it approaches the appropriate scale. That's not a huge issue. That's not a huge issue with me. It's going to look nice sitting in dungeon sets. So I'm not overly fussed about the size, except David Brown asking the next important question, what's the cost? $29.99 for that miniature. For that much, I would have preferred it to have been larger, or included the ancillary adventurers facing off against it. I just don't feel like this is $30 worth of miniature. $20, even $25 worth of miniature, But for $30, I just wish it had been the full scale size of what it's supposed to be. Now, I say that, but let me double check that price, because I think we can find that real quick. Let's pull that up. Yeah, Nordic, and it's, I think for a painted miniature, a very nicely done painted miniature these days, I think it's worth a little bit more. Let's see. Icons of the Realms, 50th Anniversary Red Dragon. Come on, guys, show me here. Let's see. Icons of the Realm, 50th Anniversary Red Dragon. We'll just go to the WizKids store. Yeah, $30 at the WizKids store, where it is on back order, I should point out. Because supply apparently has been a big issue with this. So, yeah, I did $24.99. I would have felt a little bit less irked about the price, but it's a nice piece. It's a nice playable piece. It doesn't feel fragile. Doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart in my hands. And you know what? For scale, let's put this stupid dwarf that I got the other day, and you can kind of get an idea of the scale. So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad in terms of, I mean, there's a bugbear that it starts to look a little ridiculous, because a bugbear should not be like looking eye to eye with a red dragon, right? So there it is, guys. I got it. Do I recommend you pick one up? Check Wegmans or Ollie's a little closer to Christmas and see if they're blowing these things out, or see if you can pick one up on eBay. Although that's a surefire way to pay 20 more bucks than it's actually worth. Thank you, Brutal Hermit. Be good, Padre. If you consider the MSRP of $99, that's reasonably priced in comparison. I don't agree with you, Vincent. Respectfully, I don't agree with you on that front. I do not. I do not. I think it's a $25 miniature. $30 is a bit. For $30, they could have made it 8% bigger, made it true to 25 or 28 millimeter scale, and had, in my opinion, a better overall product. So I'm not disappointed in it. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate it. I'm not going to throw it against the wall. I wasn't disgusted by it or anything like that. But I think it makes up for it in that it is David Sutherland's art come to life. I just wish they'd done it a little bit more justice by making it a little bit bigger. So, yeah, exactly, Wheeling. 8 to 10% bigger for $30. I wish we'd gotten that 8 to 10% bigger for $30. So, does the dragon come with an invisible halfling? Yes, it does. I didn't see that in the box. It was it was definitely not there. But anyway, so that's it. That's the miniature of the week. And it's kind of a special one. I like it a lot. And I'm sure you'll be seeing or hearing more about that later. So thank you for waiting along with me for almost a year. Nice looking baby dragon. No kidding. So there we go. There it is. Now, someone asked about this, what this DVD, CD-ROM. This is, you know what? We'll just go back to Tripod Cam. This is the Dragon Magazine, 25 years. This is a 50th anniversary. This is the 25th anniversary, Tchotchke. This is 250 issues of Dragon Magazine. Wizards of the Coast put this out under the TSR Impressum for the 25th anniversary of D&D, and then almost immediately had to stop doing it because they violated a article and content reproduction deal that TSR had with Kenzer and Co. for the Knights at the Dinner Table comic strips, which is how partially we ended up with the regrettable Hackmaster. So I'll talk about that again someday. Baphomet at that size is $49.95. Well, you know. But anyway, so that's what that was. So let's move on. We have a good week ahead of us content wise. Tomorrow night we're going to be playing first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons with our awesome crew of players. They're going to be here. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, if you haven't caught one of our first edition AD&D actual plays, please do, because folks, let me tell you something. You might be thinking, okay, well, I show up and I sit and I watch and there's like a dozen channels that do that. Guys, this is informational. This is a learning process. Okay. This is not like, just sitting back and doing nothing. This is point of fact, a chance for you to familiarize yourself with first edition AD&D through a lively actual play campaign that we are doing. You guys have seen some of the Dwarven Forge out there on the table. We are currently playing Dungeon Module A2 Secret of the Slaver's Stockade. Now, we don't have script reads. We don't have table reads. We don't have script writing sessions. We don't have seasons, character arcs, none of that. Okay. 10 minutes into tomorrow night's session, there could be a TPK. And we're rolling up new characters and starting over. That could happen. You just don't know. And if you're watching us play and there's something you don't know, ask a question. Ask in the chat. If I don't answer your question, somebody else might. One of the players might. One of the audience might. I have, if I may be so bold, the smartest and best looking audience in the 5-night-a-week classic tabletop RPG YouTube live streaming environment. Okay? Pat yourselves on the back because you guys you've done good. So that's what we're doing on Tuesday. Wednesday, the fun doesn't stop because I'm going to be taking a back seat. All I'm doing is pushing buttons while my co-host, my Australian buddy, Kyle Schuant, will be running first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. His own little thing, his own twist on it, but the same rules apply. We could be wiped out. You guys get to see what happens to my Charisma 3 fighter. That's right. I rolled him up on stream last Wednesday. Fighter with Charisma 3. So we're going to find out what happens to him. Thursday night's open. Anything goes Thursday. We got no schedule. No guests. We're just hanging out on Thursday night. But we do have guests coming up. Oh, yes, we do. October is chock-a-block full of guests. Risa from Brave Alice Games is going to join us in October. Alyssa Hazel is going to join us in October. Starting in late October, I'm going to be doing something. It's going to be pre-recorded, but Tim Imholt and I are going to be doing something that is going to just knock your socks off, guys. Tabletop gaming related. Hey, Crafty Matt, thank you so much for the super. Crafty Matt, thank you, says, remember, it's Sumerian September 21, Robert E. Howard Conan stories in 30 days. Let it be an inspiration for your AD&D campaign. We love us some Conan and Cull and everything else. I can get behind that. Thank you for that super chat, Crafty Matt. You hear a maybe Labyrinth on Thursday? No. Well, Friday. Hey, Lord Coron, you just snuck in here. Friday. Derek Mann. Friday, we're playing Gamma World. Doomsword, Kinect, Yang and Zhao, and our good buddy Kevin. We are playing on Friday, and you can't beat the inspiration through radiation that we have, the fun we have on Friday. Saturday, I'm not doing a thing. You're not going to see me Saturday. Just be aware. So I am excited about that. We have a big week ahead. I have a bigger. Do we have a big week ahead? We have a big month ahead. The rest of our year. Let me tell you what, guys. After October, things are gonna get nuts around here. I'm gonna be announcing. I will be deciding. I don't know how much announcing I'm going to be doing because I respect people's privacy around here. But we, a recipient of the massive AD&D haul will be chosen. And if you don't know what that's about, long story short, I'm giving away to someone who needs it. Does not have the means to get the physical books, a library of first edition AD&D. My friends over at Gaxland Games are going to be providing the shipping wherever it needs to go. I'm hyped about doing that. I'm not going to, I will let you guys know when it's gone. If the person who receives it doesn't mind me saying so, I will tell you. But you guys will know. I'll share some pictures of it getting packed up just so you believe me. But that is something I wanted to do all year long. So that will happen. And then, of course, we'll have an advent calendar of dice, possibly all through December. And then maybe Mrs. the Dungeon Delver will join us here on the show. Looking forward through 2025, who knows, right? We've got the guac. We've got the guac happening next spring, probably in April. And then next autumn, I understand we're talking close to a year from now, but I'm excited about this. So I want to tell you guys about this. Maybe a surprise announcement in January too, Imperial Ramblings. Maybe a surprise announcement too. Thank you for reminding me, boss man. Me and IR got a little something we're working on, but we'll talk about that at the appropriate time. But I'm going EggCon. I have been asked to be a guest of honor at EggCon, a special guest, and you don't get any more special than me. So I will be doing that. Hey, Gonzalo, thank you for the super. Happy Labor Day. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Now, I want to ask one little favor of you guys. I want to ask an Old School Essentials review. I have it. I mean, it just seems to be like basic and expert plus some heavy seasonings of first edition AD&D. I don't hate it. I just don't need it. Anyway, I want to ask you guys, I would really love to tip over 7,000 subscribers between now and the first of the year. There's nothing like, there's no special plaque or anything that comes from hitting 7,000. You know, I don't get I don't, like, doesn't kick me over, but it would just be kind of cool. So if you guys know somebody who digs the kind of stuff we do and they're not subscribed, if you could if you could just tell them about the channel, just spread the good word. I would love to see, and we're close, right? We are currently sitting at, and let me bring this up. And I'm not bragging. I'm not, I'm not saying I am so awesome. Look at, because I'm not. I mean, there's proper YouTubers. Let me tell you what, one of my most favorite YouTubers to watch is this young lady named the Charismatic. I don't know, that's her name. Her YouTube channel is called The Charismatic Voice. She is a professional, just has done so much opera and stage musical stuff. And she does reviews of hard rock and heavy metal vocals that she's never heard before. It's a react channel, kind of, but I love her stuff. But she could lose as many subscribers as I have total and not notice it. I know I'm small potatoes in YouTube, so I'm not bragging about, behold, look, look ye mortals at my mighty works and despair, or anything like that. I'm just saying, for the sake of mentioning this, for giving you guys an idea, we're at 6358 are currently crammed into this Steam shit. I would really love it. If we could get that other math 642 subscribers between now and January and just roll over to 7,000. Because at that point, I've got a couple more years and I might hit 10,000. Because when we hit 10,000, you're going to see some serious stuff. Because when I hit 10,000, the Guac will become the great underground overland gaming convention. That's right. In real life get together, not at my house. I'll be getting a venue, but a gaming convention like that won't be free. The Guac as it is right now, which will always happen, by the way, the Guac as it is right now is free. That one I'll have to pay for, but I'm sure you guys understand. At 10K, no, I think we need 10 million for that, and probably still not enough. Wonderful Wizards Game has a question. What system would I suggest for running a campaign based on the show Stargate SG-1? How deep in the weeds do you want to get? And how much heavy lifting do you want to do? If you want something that you can pick up and snap an extant magic system into, magic is technology, I would say D20 Modern, because then you can just use 3rd edition D&D with it. But failing that, if you just want to go tabula rasa, may I interest you in a little bit of... No, I can't, because I can't find a copy handy. I have copies over here. My co-host, Kyle Schuant, has a game of combat action adventure called Conflict. You can find it on Lulu. You can find it on Drive-Thru RPG. You might go with Conflict. You might go with Traveler. Altered games, I would think, yeah, Traveler might be your go-to. Wave of Mutilation, the Invisible Horse is in your house right now. Yang will bring chips. That'll be awesome. So anyway, it's only in my backyard if you guys bring bush hogging tools and can cut down trees and everything else, because, oh my God. All right. So that is kind of what has transpired, what will be going on. Don't really have a huge amount of TTRPG news. I will tell you that tomorrow, speaking of Tim Imholt, because I mentioned him earlier, he does play in our Tuesday night AD&D game. But Tim and I are going to do a fun video about the physics of Dungeons and Dragons and the science of Dungeons and Dragons. It won't be a huge long one, but I think you guys will enjoy it. I hope you guys will enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So let's get to something that I really have been putting off for the last half an hour. I thought about just jumping into it, and then I said, no, I want to stay positive. And all right, look, I got to bury the lead a lot on what I'm fixing to talk about. I have said before, I have said before that TTRPG Twitter is a fun, cool, laid-back place, and generally speaking, it is. Now, if you don't get on Twitter, if you don't talk about Twitter, or do anything with Twitter, good for you. That's awesome. Generally speaking, I have found it a pretty positive place to connect with a lot of cool people. And there are creators in that space that I would not know but for that. And I've had a lot of fun sharing ideas. Rob Kuntz sets TTRPG Twitter on fire. If you guys don't know who Rob is, like, he's not just some Twitter guy, okay? You're talking about the godfather of Dungeons and Dragons. He's literally one of the last men standing. We've had him on this show right here. Rob is, man, let me tell you what. Just so smart, brilliant smart. There is an infinite plane that extends in all directions to hold the types of TTRPGs we care about, and to hold the people who play TTRPGs the way that they care to play TTRPGs. All right. We're not hedged in as 1E fans. Like, we're out of room. We got no place to go. We can't grow our hobby anymore. We're at, there's no arable land. There's no water. That doesn't happen. That's not how that works. Right? There's no president of TTRPGs. If there ever was, it was Gary Gygax. He passed on. But decades before he did, he handed the mantle and the gavel over to all of us and said, do it your own way. Do it your own way. I did a thing called D&D. Do you like it? Here it is. It's for sale. Buy it. And then do it your own way. And that is the way it ought to be. That's how it ought to be. There's no pope. There's no pontiff of tabletop role-playing games that it all belongs to, that you need the permission of someone to enjoy. The Dungeon Delver, it's a shtick. Guys, if you love OD&D, Basic, First Edition, Second Edition, Third Edition, 3.5, 5th Edition, Shadow Dark, Pathfinder 1 or 2, Tunnels and Trolls, guys, do it, play it, love it, enjoy it. Miniatures Terrain, Miniatures Battle Mat, Cardboard Counters Battle Mat, Theater of the Mind, on the computer, face-to-face, at your house, at a comic book store. When this hobby was opened up to us and that information was disseminated out, it became ours. Now let me get down closer to the point. Or even me has stick. Me never get enough orders to publish me have stick. Me a little sad about that. Me embarrassed. Me take money. Me refund. Oh, did I skip something, Jorge? Anyway, um, if I run a game and I say it is set in the world of Greyhawk, I use that box or that folio or that supplement or some combination of the three or just the word Greyhawk. I'm running a Greyhawk campaign. And if I feel and I get indications, let's say I tell Rob, I'm doing it this way, and he's like, that's the way Gary would have done that. Or even if in my gut, I feel like I'm doing it the way Gary would have done. If I say I'm running a Gygaxian Greyhawk campaign, so what? If I'm using the DA series of modules or basic and supplement 1 or supplement 2 Blackmore, and I say I'm running an Arnsonian Blackmore campaign, to the best of my knowledge, I'm doing it. I'm going to clue you guys in on a little something that may shock you. For the act of playing Dungeons and Dragons, I make $0. I don't sell the concept of playing Dungeons and Dragons or Greyhawkian Dungeons and Dragons. Nobody who plays does that. Nobody who plays does that. There is no intellectual property being stolen. Someone on Twitter today made the comment about people that I like throwing shade at them and saying they're intellectual property stealing twerps. What intellectual property? And if I invented Beyond Zork based role-playing game and I took it to conventions and I invited strangers to my house to play it, and I said, now take and enjoy and go and play and share, and they do that, they're not stealing my intellectual property. Now, if I locked it up in my house and I said, OC donut steal, maybe I've got a case then. But saying you're playing an RPG in a particular way that you enjoy, that's it's not IP theft, boys and girls. That's playing a damn hobby game. It's ludicrous to imply that once an idea of wargaming or role-playing games are out there, that anyone owns the idea. It's just bonkers. It is just bonkers. Hey, somebody call Wizards of the Coast. Somebody call Luke, Heidi, Ernie, Elsie, Cindy, and even Gail, and tell them I'm running a Greyhawk campaign in the Gygax style. Do you know what they're going to say? So what? So what? If I switched over and started my game all over again, the land the land of black ice, Temple of the Frog, City of the Gods, and all the wonkiness that comes in supplement too. Do you think the Arneson estate cares if I say I'm running a Arnesonian Blackmore campaign? If I switch over and start running Tecumel Empire of the Petal Throne, me and 5 other people would do that. I'm sorry. You think the estate of M.A.R. Barker is going to get up in arms because I say I'm running a Tecumel campaign? Hell no. And to act any other way is childish, and it's divisive. And that brings me to something that I just said that I like TTRPG Twitter. It's a good place to concatenate ideas. It's a good place. If I use EPT, I must use proper pronunciation. Right, James? Yeah. It's a good place to concatenate ideas and meet people and exchange ideas real quick. Hey, I got a new monster. 500 eyes on it. 5,000 by the end of the day. It's kind of spiffy. Do you guys want to know when Wizards of the Coast was afraid of the old school? It wasn't when Osric came out. They were pissed off about Osric. They were mad about Osric. They sent Matt and Stuart cease and desist crap that it had a snowflake's chance in a blowtorch of standing up, which is why Osric is still out today. They wanted a 24-hour pause on Osric so they could get in front of it, and they never got it because they knew they had no legal leg to stand on. So it wasn't when Osric came out, though. Wasn't when Hackmaster rolled out. Wasn't when what is it, Pathfinder nibbled into their market share in 2007. Wasn't in 2014, 2012, when they came begging for forgiveness. Not even then. Wizards of the Coast was scared when fans of the original editions and 3rd edition and 3.5 and yes, 4th edition and 5th edition all lined up, linked arms, and started pushing back against that OGL BS in 2023. Because the people who don't like 1st edition and the people who don't like 4th edition and the 3.5ers who don't like basic and the basic who don't like advanced, all of those fans were united, and we pushed back. And we said, in the words of Captain America, no, you move. And there were some months when they saw their subscriptions dropping on their D&D Beyond and third-party stuff flying off the shelves and alternate games flying off the shelves. When they saw that, they were scared. So let me tell you something. Do you know who division, snark, and attacks on each other? Do you know who that serves? Doesn't serve the community. It doesn't. Calling me a shithead or someone else an IP thief, that doesn't, you think I suck because I play AD&D? You think I suck because I play AD&D not in one-to-one time? And you want to argue with me about that instead of saying, hey, that's a nice variant dragon you got there. That's a cool dungeon you wrote up. Do you know who that serves? Do you know who that makes stronger? Do you know who that gives authority? Wizards of the Coast. You're playing into their hands. And maybe you're okay with that. Maybe you would like games to only be at your table. And you think that Braunstein IP should only belong to one person or one tiny little group of people. If you're not going to come up to, a little group meeting, you don't get it, and you don't get to speak to it. Maybe you're okay with that. And I don't know what to tell you about that. If that's what you want. But if you're really interested in this hobby, if you really care about this, if you really love tabletop role-playing games, you won't do stuff like that. You won't get wrapped up in cults of personality. One of the most grating, annoying things, when I turned around one day and found out that there were Google Plus people that you had to follow and blogs you had to read, and nobody's I'd ever heard of suddenly deciding that they were the big dick rule authorities on classic D&D. Yeah, their names aren't in my AD&D books or Dragon magazine. Oh, but suddenly, you got to follow this blog. You got to be in this person's friend circles on Google Plus and da-da-da-da. Just cults of personality. And we don't need it. Classic tabletop pen and paper RPG has no king. Classic tabletop pen and paper RPG needs no king. This line of people all the way out to the damn river wanting to audition for Aragorn. Get out of here. All right. Just sit down and play with the rest of us. It was it was a glorious time when we stood shoulder to shoulder. Can we go back to that? Nobody owns anything. Wizards of the Coast owns Dungeons and Dragons. We can't change that. You run a one-to-one time Braunstein style game that's open world. Your party's never going to dungeons, but they do like land management and command armies. Mwah, I kiss you. Wonderful. Awesome. Do it. Go for it. You play 3 hours a night once every 2 weeks and you pause, like literally, like, okay, we're going to kick in the monster door. Sorry, guys, it's 10 o'clock. We got to wrap. Okay, we pause here. Beautiful. Oh, I love you. Something in between. Basic expert, the whole Beck-Me thing, the rules cyclopedia. To quote Steve Buscemi in Reservoir Dogs, fuck sides, what we need here is a little fucking solidarity. And saying you're going to tear somebody down because they stole IPO. Stupid. It's ridiculous. All the energy you're putting towards that when you could be saying how awesome what you're doing at the tabletop is. Just think about it for a minute, won't you? So, I mean, I said this weekend on the RPG Twitter, I said, sometimes I feel like the Andy Griffith of the TTRPG space on social media. You know, if you didn't grow up watching Mayberry RFD, the Andy Griffith show, I watch reruns of it on TBS in the mornings, mid-afternoons, every day of the week for years of my life, Yeah, it was a comedy show about dumb yokels in a little country town in the Carolinas, North Carolina, I think. But those pathos moments when Andy would sit Opie down or somebody else, they slow, sonorous violins, and he would explain, like he would really unburden his heart about a thing. Sometimes that's the Andy Griffith you got to be, not just homespun, lots of yucks, knee slapper wisdom. Maybe Andy wouldn't have used as many F-bombs as I would. I don't know. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles at this point. Have I made myself clear? Have I made myself clear? I'm not and let me be even clearer. I'm not getting on anybody here. You're all wonderful people. If you're out there watching the audience, I think you're wonderful people. So, I think Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies probably cursed a blue streak. Now, I unfortunately, with the less than 10 minutes we got left, I can't go through and dig through all this. I do want to mention something real quick, though. Who is it? Where are you? Campaigns and Conquest is apparently looking for people to play in his Star Wars game. I can't find your comment about Star Wars. So if you follow him over on Twitter and you want to play Star Wars RPG, hit him up. That's right, Gonzalo. You are wonderful. Hey, Snake Oil Sean gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So those go out random. I don't control those. He doesn't control those. It literally rolls a dice. So 5 people just got subs. Now I'll say this in case anyone. See, now you got to come hang around more, Harmony. You have to. I don't take sides, and I'm not gonna take sides. I think a lot of what the Bro SR guys talk about is just like, whatever. Yeah, you're damn right. I'll just pause my D&D game mid-action, not come back to it for a week. What you gonna do about it? Huh, Jeffro? You come down here and tap dance me to death or something? Whatever it is you do? So nobody better think I'm taking sides, because I'm not. But listen, guys, whatever you do, whatever you enjoy, I dig it with you, man. I do. I absolutely do. Potato salad or mac and cheese. Both are good. Both are delicious. I'll put them both on my plate. You know what's really good? Asian style coleslaw on a burger at a cookout. That's delicious right there. Asian style coleslaw, you use rice wine vinegar. All right, so you get your standard coleslaw mix. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Write this down, or if you're watching this later, pause it. I hadn't heard about that, Michael. That's awesome. I got to try and get Maximum Mike on the show. I would love him to come on the show. So let me tell you guys, listen up. Get you a bag of coleslaw mix. You know, it's shredded carrots, cabbage, all that stuff. You want peanut butter and rice wine vinegar and soy sauce. You want to mix that up, get it to, you know, a thin enough consistency that it'll spread. Unsalted almonds, toast those in your oven till they're dry and crispy and chop them up. Mix it in your Asian coleslaw dressing and your coleslaw mix. Just mix it all up. Oh man, it's good. You throw some of that on a burger. That's Uptown right there. And yes, I did say peanut butter. I'm sorry. My glasses are wonking out here. I don't know if I can get Maximum Mike, Jack. I don't know. This was a Cody's brainchild. I don't even know what that means. Well, Mead, I've been doing okay over there. And to be honest, most of the toxicity was coming from people pushing an agenda that had everything to do with real world social stuff. It's just lately, for some reason, there have been a few people down in the old school end who have gotten brainworms about something. Oh, it's by Cody Pons. Okay, all right, I got you, Michael. I'm sorry. I'm missing stuff because I'm talking to you guys. No, I got you, Mead. I got you. So we got a few minutes left, guys. We got a few minutes left before I got to get to AD&D. Do you guys have any questions for me? Any questions whatsoever? Have I left anything? I mean, you know what? I was talking about, I'd really like some more subs, and I may have just lost a bunch of people by tipping over the apple cart. Nope, I did not. That's good. Thank you. 6360. Thank you, everyone. How does the dragon... That's a good question. Neutral. I'm not going to lick it because this came out of a factory in China. I mean, if I knew it came out of a factory in Ohio, I'd say it came out of a factory in Ohio. So I'm still not going to lick it. Thank you, Harmony. What is my all-time favorite dungeon that isn't one of the big known dungeons? Yow. That is a good question. One of my all-time favorite dungeons that isn't one of the big known dungeons. I mean, what is big known though, right? I mean, I might say that, it's C2 and everybody, or C1, Hidden Shrine of Tamacon, and people are like, oh, we know that dungeon. But it's not one really that people go on about that much. So I like it a good bit. One last question for me. What's my favorite character I've ever played in a campaign? The Wonderful Wizard of Games asked me, what is my favorite character I played in a campaign? I don't get to play often enough. In D&D, right? I don't know. See, it's usually just been one-offs and stuff like that. Wow, stick a pin in that and ask me in a couple weeks. Maybe I'll have an answer for you. I don't get to play enough, guys. I don't. I'm sorry, Wonderful Wizard. I'm sorry. I don't have a straight answer for you. The first Ed Gamma World pod, I own it, Jimmy. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Let me show it to you real quick, and then I got to wrap up tonight. This is for Jimmy. Oh, come on. Hang on, guys. Hopefully my britches don't fall down here. Hang on. This is beautiful. Let me bring this up real quick. This is to die for. It's glossy. It's got crispy, easy to read pages. There's the back cover. So you get a 4-color cover. You get a nice square spine on it. I love it. It is great. It is great. So, and I think this was like $24.99. But I like it a lot. I remember I got this in the mail and I emailed Jim Ward. I was so excited about it. I said, Jim, I have so many questions about Gamma World. And he said, well, ask him and we'll talk about it. And I got to ask him a few questions about Gamma World. So. All right, guys, that's all I got time for tonight. I've eaten into my Monday night game. They're probably wondering where the hell I am. If you didn't listen to my words that much, I hope at least the message got through tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night with first edition AD&D. My whole crew will be here. We'll be playing AD&D for you guys, for your edutainment. Thank you. Please be good to each other. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow night. Thank you for the supers, Snake Oil, Sean. The membership, Snake Oil. Thank you, Gonzalo, and thank you, Crafty Matt. Again, please, please, please be good to each other. It doesn't serve anyone but the bad guys to be awful to each other. Good night.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me